Okay, great. Yes. My name is Kim Lavone. Welcome to Improbable Comedy Stay-at-Home Edition. We are so happy to have you. I'm just gonna introduce the show and give you a few tips on how to make this the most fun for everybody. So there are going to be about maybe 100 people or 60, 70 people watching the show on Zoom, and some more who are out there in YouTube land. So if you all want to just wave hi on YouTube, we're so happy you're watching. Yay. So because of that, we would love to have some of you laughing out loud. That actually makes the show a lot more fun for us. The best ones of you to do that are if you're not doing anything else. Like if you're not doing dishes, or if you're not playing with your dog, or if you're not talking the phone and you're just here to watch the show and laugh, we would love for you to be a part of the show. So feel free to like raise your virtual hand if you know how to do that, or give us a wave. And we will unmute you. Oh, there's Jean. She knows what she's doing. She's like, I want to be part of the show. And there we go. Then we can unmute you. Can we unmute you? Hello.
Squirrels are back.
Anyone, so just, yeah, feel free to, I don't know why. Yep, there we go. Okay, who else is?
Now, I hope they're funny. I hope they're funny.
There
I'll try and laugh anyway.
Be unmuted. Excellent. Let's get some more people. Like 6 or 8 of you, 10 of you. There we go. We've got Janice. She's like, I want to be in the show. Excellent. Awesome. There we go. We've got some people who'll be unmuted. That's super fun. Oh, okay. All the way up there in Western Massachusetts, we have people who are unmuted.
There's like 100 people, but we only see this many. Yes. No, thank you.
It's good. Okay, so while Nishama and Pete might be unmuting a few of you, I'll just tell you, we usually do these shows. We usually do these shows live in Silver Spring, Maryland. So this, of course, is a time of many challenges for many people, but with every challenge comes a great opportunity. And this awful situation has created the opportunity that we get to put on the show for lots more people than we usually get to. So, for example, I think we have people from multiple states. That's usually how these shows are going. So I just want to show you in the chat function, if you see where your chat is, then you can chat where you're from. Like, so I'll just write that I'm in Maryland, and you now can chat where you're from, and then we'll see kind of where. We've got some different folks. If you think you're from Vermont, that's far away. Hawaii. Are you actually in Hawaii watching this show right now?
I actually am.
I am going to kiss you. That is amazing.
Alaska.
Wow. Okay. More things to know. Other ways that you can enjoy this show and show the comics that you love them are the reaction buttons. So if you haven't been on a Zoom show before, then there are 2 reaction buttons. Usually they're on the bottom of your screen. One of them is like hands clapping, and one of them is a thumbs up.
Oh yeah, right here.
So if you're enjoying the show and you wanna do that, that's a good way of showing them. And also putting something in the chat like, this is hilarious, or I love that joke, or my mom does the same thing. All of those things are fair game for the chat, and that's a great way for you to be involved even if you're not unmuted. Keep in mind that you, like me, you have a microphone right next to your face. So if you're unmuted, everything you do will get broadcast out. So that's why it's great if you're laughing. We would absolutely love to hear you laughing. But if you're chatting about what happened today, you could just mute yourself. Okay. Other things you should know. We've got this great show tonight. Some of you paid for tickets, and some of you got free tickets, and we love you all equally. We're like your mom. It's just like unconditional. You're like our favorite kid. I will say, if you just were kind of trying it out, like maybe, we are going to put in the chat ways that you can contribute. We have a Venmo at Improbable Comedy, and you can throw something in there. And also, if you go back to Eventbrite, you can do a pay what you can until midnight tonight. So both of those are ways, but truthfully, if this is not a time for extra cash, your neighbors are helping you out by giving a little extra, so it all comes out in the wash. Okay, I think those are all my details that I wanted to share with you. Yeah, so again, very happy to have you with us tonight. I'm going to introduce your comic in 1 second. We have a super fun lineup tonight. One more bonus of this of this pandemic is that comics from all different other places can just kind of dip right in and do our show with us tonight. So we've got a lot of great performers. And I would like to introduce your host to kick things off. She performs all around the DMV. And also she has a film that is coming out, I think in a week, maybe a month, anyway. But it's very exciting. So we'll put more about that in the chat. But please give it up for your host, Jenny Cavallero.
Hi everyone. Oh wow, I gotta look at this gallery view. It looks like some of you have your nice pajamas on for the show, so good job. I put on a jacket to like make myself feel like I went outside today, so I feel really good. It makes me feel powerful. Anytime I put on shoes with laces, I'm like, it's happening for me today. It's gonna be good. No, I'm really excited to be here. This is so much fun. It's so great. We get to connect with people who would like never be able to come to this show in person. It's fun to see which of you have cleaner houses than me, which is everyone. So good for you as well. Has anyone, just to get to know you guys a little better, anyone who's unmuted, has anyone like learned any new skills in this time of so much free time?
How to use Zoom.
Yeah, how to use Zoom. That's a really good one. I had to learn that too. I didn't know. Anyone else learn anything fun?
How not to fight with my husband so much.
Oh wow! And that your husband is in the room with you, right?
Yes, he'll be here in a minute.
Yeah,
I'm just joking.
I think
at the end of the night, I say to him, "Congratulations, we haven't killed each other today."
Hey, that's a victory, right? I think anything else is just a bonus, right? It's like you got through the day. No homicides. Like that's pretty good. I've been learning how to cry during the day instead of just at night. So that's been fun. Like why save it? Why save it for the evening? You know, just like spread it out. All kinds of weather and sunshine. I've been working from home a little bit too. I'm actually a librarian out in the world usually. Anyone fans of libraries? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of you are wearing glasses, so that checks out. Yeah, I work at a public library here in DC. I love it. I love the work that I do. But librarians, we get a strange reputation in pop culture, you know, like if there's ever a librarian character in a TV show or a movie, like there's only two kinds, right? You've seen this. There's either a buttoned up hag who likes to shush people, right? She's about like 112. Or you have like a sex maniac, right? It's just like, it's just not really realistic, you know, like most of us are both. We're both of those things. So it's a good life. I was, before all this started, I was starting to feel really lazy at work. Like I was just having a hard time focusing. I don't know. It's like, I like having a job where I get to be helpful to people. Like that's like personally fulfilling for me, being able to serve my community, but it's just like, it's hard to be helpful all the time, right? Like this woman came up to the reference desk like one of the last days we were open, and she asked me where the Agatha Christie books were. And I was like, I could tell you, but it does seem like you enjoy good mysteries. So she may still be looking. I'm not really sure. That's okay. Everybody staying healthy. We're staying healthy at home. Yeah. I'm pretty grateful. I'm grateful that I've been healthy so far. I did find out that actually 2 of my ex-boyfriends had coronavirus though. It turns out I have bad taste in immune systems too. So that's a bummer. They are okay, unfortunately, but no, it's good. I'm glad they're okay. Any fellow menstruators here on Zoom tonight? Anybody? Yeah, we have a few fist pumps for menstruation. Yeah. I'm in my 3rd period of the quarantine, which is just a real bummer. Way to mark time. If you're not someone who experiences getting a period, I just want you to know that like there's a lot of unfair things about it. Like are there any men who are unmuted here? Let's see. Jean's husband. Have you heard of the term the tampon tax before?
Tampon tax?
Yes.
No.
Does it sound good or bad to
Is
you?
that tax with an X or tax with a CKS?
Tax with an X.
Oh.
Good question. Good question.
I've heard of it.
Does it sound good or bad to you?
It sounds bad.
It sounds bad. Good use of context clues. It is bad. You're like, I've heard of tampons. I've heard of taxes. Neutral on the tampon thing. Taxes, probably bad. And that's correct. Good work. Good work, Jean's husband. Sorry, what is your name?
Paul.
Paul, you have your own identity, and I want to acknowledge that.
Mostly.
But no, it's a bad thing. It actually means menstrual products are they're taxed in a way that other health items aren't. They're actually taxed as a luxury item, which I think we can agree is like pretty unfair, right? For something so necessary for so many people, right? I also think it's pretty unfair that I have to be this bloated and this horny at the same time. There's really no use for that, you know, like no one's ever been like ready to go with someone in the bedroom and then thought to themselves like, if only I was full of farts, you know, we could really have something here. I've been talking to my family a lot during quarantine. That's been kind of nice, like connecting with them. I see some of you are with parts of your family unit. That's great. I like my parents a lot. They're pretty cool. They named me Jennifer because in the 80s it was illegal not to. So
Yes.
kind of very law-abiding as a family. I don't know if you guys know this. Jennifer was actually the #1 name for baby girls in the US from 1970 all the way to 1984. Yeah. Just like a long reign of terror across America. Any guesses what finally knocked us out in 85? What was more popular? Jessica, that's very close. It was cocaine, actually. Yeah. Also popular with my parents at the time, so it worked out. It is Jessica, actually. Good work. Good for you. You see, you have the glasses. You've been studying. I'm proud of you. Are we ready to have a great show tonight? We have so many great comics here tonight. We have a great crowd, I can tell. Guys, give yourselves a round of applause for coming to this show. All right, and I want to introduce our first comic. So excited to see her. Please make some noise.
Jenny?
Yes. Oh, yes.
Sorry. Somebody's got an echo.
They do. I think someone has the YouTube stream on, maybe. Oh, did it stop? Okay. We good? All right, great. So let's make some noise once more for your first comic. Let's hear it for Tali Fastow.
Yay!
Hi, my name's Tali Fastow. Yes, I agree with that last statement. This is my first virtual comedy Zoom thing, so I'm very excited to be here. Thank you all for coming out, by the way. I literally have no motivation to wake up before like 12, so the fact that you know like the time and date, Mazel Tov. Before I like start my little spicy bit, I wanted to just reminisce a little bit about when we were excited about this year. Why? Number one, who let my parents buy these? Not my shape, not my color. But also, were they trying to attract murder hornets? Probably. I'm quarantined with my parents, just my parents. It was my sister and my parents, but then my sister left me with them. So she is dead to me. I'm pretty sure she's on this Zoom. So Leora, if you're hearing this, that family Zoom last night was the last time I'll be talking to you. I feel like everyone had really big plans this year. New decade, new year, new you. I personally had no motivation and had no will to like change my habits because it's a new year. But I feel like people have big plans, and it kind of got me thinking, like, with online school, with all this change and like online things, like what were school shooters' plans this year? Like they had 20/20 vision, like this was their year. They didn't do it, like that's a wasted opportunity, you know? And it just like got me wondering, like, where's all that negativity going? Like, where are they channeling their anger? Like, are they like watercoloring Are they like landscapes? Like what's happening? As a Jew, I really hope that they practice so they get into art school and stuff, So, oh my God, I'm not gonna be asked back after that one. Okay, so online school is really weird. I'm learning a lot, not in the way of academics. My education has not been furthered, but I'm learning a lot about like my teachers and the people who I go to school with. And if I realize anything, it's that the teacher like salary needs to go up, not because of the work they do, but purely because I have to go on Google Meets with them and I see their homes, and it needs to change. If you saw the pillows that my teachers have, you would be pro higher salary for them. Like, they're not my favorite people in the world, but I respect them. But after seeing that, like live, love, laugh decoration, like my respect really went down the drain. I'm also learning a lot about like my peers. Like this quarantine has me thinking, like we have a lot of online discussions with my class or with my classes in general. And so the whole class can see what you post and see, all of your answers. But my peers, my classmates just don't understand the English language, I guess. They cannot spell. And I don't know why we are, looking towards my generation, my future. I saw a discussion post, I actually wrote it down, the amount of words that this one person misspelled. They misspelled the word benefit, actually, and excellent. So if you guys are thinking we're gonna like solve climate change, solve all these social issues, I hate to break it to you, we're not. Give us some time to read a book. We do not know how to learn. And online math in general, not going to go well. If you think we're going to, innovate the next, the newest technology, it's not going to happen because I don't know basic algebra. So if you were looking for something hopeful in this bit, I'm sorry, I hate to break it to you, but there we are. Oh, let's see who's here. Oh my gosh, this is so exciting. Okay, what else? Oh, my sister. We were talking about my sister. So my sister, I'm the youngest child. My sister is the middle child. And the quarantine has kind of got me thinking, like reflecting on my childhood a little bit. And the middle child, like I'm pro youngest child just because I am one. I'm biased a little bit. But quick story, really quick. When I was maybe 5 years old, we had to or maybe 6 or something. We had to clean my house. Like my parents did not hire people to clean the house. So my sister at age, I don't know, 6, 7, would have me clean the toilet. And every single weekend when we would have to do this again, she would make me do it and then reteach her how to do it. So I'm pro middle child because I realize that they are, in fact, the smartest. So I hope you enjoyed my realizations in quarantine. Thank you guys so much for having me. You're in for a great rest of your show. I'm sweaty. Oh my gosh. Okay. Bye. Thank you.
Yay. Well done, Talia. As a fellow youngest child, I also support your youngest child agenda. So that was great. And everybody, next up, we have an awesome comic who also produces his own wonderful shows all around DC and beyond. Let's hear it for Robert Mack.
Hi, welcome. I'm semi-successful non-celebrity Robert Mack from robertmack.com. I am also the youngest child, so we all get along, I guess. And I want to welcome you all to the show. I hope you found some good parking and made it to the club on time. And thanks for being here. I know you didn't have to. You could have gone to your living room and turned your brain off and stuck your head in front of that rectangle with the endless parade of changing characters that turns your brain into mush, right? Stupid books. I went outside today. I don't go outside a lot, but today was beautiful. I couldn't believe the weather today because I'm an atheist and we have trouble believing. But It's not as bad as my neighbor. He's agnostic. He doesn't know whether or not if there's weather or not. Today was like the sun came out late. It was like 65. And whenever the weather is like this, I can't help but think of my parents because they were high in the mid 60s and kind of cloudy and constant high pressure and cold at times. So I was out today. Today is, I don't know the days of the week anymore. Today is grocery day. And then there's a couple of days in a row I call Blur's Day. They go kind of fast. And then it's laundry day and then shower day. But today was grocery day. And I used to like going to the grocery store, but now I go for a neighbor as well, and it's no longer fun. The produce is horrible, and the wait is even worse than that. I was at Trader Joe's, and I'm not making this up. The line was so long that by the time I got to the cashier, my bananas had started to turn yellow. It's for people to go to Trader Joe's because they don't start yellow. Anyway. But this is the new way we're doing it. We're logging in. We live in unprecedented times. Unprecedented times. And this is how it kind of goes now. And I kind of miss some of the old things, but I'm adapting. I was until very recently a professional comedian. And to do that, you have to go and perform. And I travel quite a bit all over the area. I drove here all the way from Maryland tonight just to be here. And here's something, I don't know how many people we have not from the area, but when you drive around here, at least in my GPS, anytime I go to a state, a little thing pops up. It says, welcome to whatever state you're in. So welcome to Maryland, or welcome to Washington, D.C., or welcome to Virginia. And it's usually like the flag of that state, except Virginia does not show the state flag because the Virginia state flag is actually, and you can look this up if you don't believe me. It's a half topless woman standing on a corpse holding a spear, and it says death to tyrants in Latin, and she's holding something else which we haven't identified yet. It's the only state flag depicting a homicide. And when I drive home to Maryland, I see the Maryland state flag, which is actually 2 flags. Well, it's 4 flags. It's 1 flag, all right? But it looks like a teacher had 2 students and 3 markers and 5 minutes and said, all right, flag contest, go. And then and you both win, and we can't put them both up. That's the banner. Well, then put 2 of each. And then it's actually, I did some research, and it turns out the Maryland state flag is coats of arms of people who come from another continent, which might not be a good idea in this environment, in this climate. So I decided they should redo the state flag. And so when you drive into a state, flag pops up, you have an idea of what you're in for. So the new Maryland state flag would be a crab, obviously. And I don't know how to depict this, but it would be writing someone a ticket as it comes out of a pothole. That would be the new Maryland state flag. But I can't really travel much and perform anymore. April was lined up to be the best month of my career, and I lost all of that work except for 1 gig. It was a conference in San Diego, and they said, well, you could still do the gig, but just record it, and then we'll play it, and we won't pay you. Do you still want to do it? And I said, yeah, sure. So that's the only gig I had. Not funny, true story, no joke.
Sorry.
Anyway, what I've done is I've created a show here at home in my dumpy little house. And when I was a kid growing up, I spent every Saturday night in my bedroom pretending to be the host of my own comedy show. Now I am. And I do it on Saturdays, and it's really fun. And I'm going to show a sample clip from our show. I love food, by the way, and because I'm a semi-successful non-celebrity, I have food almost every day. And so we have a new segment on our show. It's called Quarantine Kitchen, and there's cooking tips. There's 3 different recipes. We're going to show one of those right now. So Peter, if you could show that, please. And Peter's our director. Next up is eggs Florentine, which, of course, you need some spinach and obviously some eggs, and of course, some fancy cheese. But what if you don't have these ingredients? Not a problem, because we'll make something special with some substitutions that I like to call eggs quarantine. No eggs? No problem. Ice is nice. And you say spinach because I heard Chardonnay. What cheese is that? It's not. It's seltzer. It's eggs quarantine. Breakfast of champions. And we are back. So if you want to see more fun recipes, you should check that. Hold on, I was in the middle of sending an email really quick. And okay. So welcome back. This is my brand new lab. We had for a long time, we had a black lab, but then it ran away. Got a new lab here, and I'm getting a lot of mileage out of the lab coat. I'm a big fan of science. I follow it religiously. In fact, the 23andMe test recently, and it turns out I learned some stuff I didn't know. I knew that I was mostly Polish and other Eastern European, and then some Central European. I'm also a little bit Native American, and I'm 1.3% Jeff Goldblum. Get that. Okay. I come from a large family, Homo sapien. Charles Darwin once told me, he said that that human beings, our biological drive, our number one driver is to survive and propagate the species. And right now, around the world, it's obvious we're trying our best to survive. And then once we get through this, we'll probably start doing some propagating. But you can look around, and if you remember back in the old days, you guys remember like in March, how everything, like airports, you've been to an airport, you can picture how crowded that is, or a Whole Foods parking lot. We're pretty successful propagators. We're probably the successfulest propagators on the planet. So much so, though, that now we're killing the planet, which we need to live, which is a bad idea. That's the number one rule of being a parasite, is don't consume the host, okay? But that's what we're doing, and we need to reel that back, because we have a big problem right now, and we'll get through it because we got a bunch of smart science men, and we will get through. But then we have our other current problem du jour, which is global warming, and we need to tackle that. But here's a great idea that we can use to reel that back in. If you see somebody who doesn't recycle, or somebody who keeps the water running when they brush their teeth, or somebody who takes an elevator in a 2-story building instead of the stairs, if you see somebody who does that, just don't mate with them. And then that way we can breed those traits out of the gene pool. Don't mate, don't date, don't procreate, don't fornicate, don't copulate, don't even cop a feel, because those jackbutts are killing the planet, like I said, which we need to live. And mostly it's plastic. Yeah, 40% of all plastic is only used once, and then it's gone. It's like a liberal arts degree. And they're killing the planet. And we're in a tight place where some states want people to get out and other states want people to stay in. I think it's important to get out. I got out today, my weekly trip outside. But for people who don't go out, and if we stay inside, I mean, my curves are flattening. But we need to flatten all over, because if people don't go out, you know what's going to happen? Murder rate is going to go through the roof. And think about it. Everyone's got gloves. And so how are you going to convict people? Everyone's got gloves on. There's no fingerprints or DNA samples. And it's easy to get rid of evidence. That's what Clorox is for. It's for pandemics and getting rid of annoying roommates. Think about it. Everyone is collecting masks and gloves and industrial cleaners. That's a serial killer starter kit right there. Just add a roommate who clips their toenails on the couch, squeezes a toothpaste tube from the middle, and eventually you've got a murder scene right there. So here's a little safety tip for you guys right there. If you have someone you're quarantining with and they've started to binge watch Dexter, just take out the garbage and never come back, because you're probably the next thing on their to-do list. So really careful, and because they'll never be convicted. If you're trapped inside a little place a long time with the same people, that's justifiable homicide right there. Oh, Your Honor, he was touching me and smelling me and looking at me, and he made a funny sound every time he ate soup. It drove me crazy. I had to kill him. Well, case dismissed on the account of temporary insanity. You're free to go, Mrs. Biden. Too soon on that one? All right. I'm a big fan of the planet. I hope I was able to convey that. But real quick, I wanted to let you know that a month ago was Earth Day. It was the 50th anniversary of Earth Day, and I made 50 videos to save the planet. And to give you a taste of what one of those is like, I want to ask Peter if he could run one of our Love Your Mother tips from day number 9. Hello. There's an ancient Chinese expression, Ni hao, zai qian. Today's secret word is botany, the study of plants and trees. Let's see if today's contestant mentions the secret word, botany. What the Chinese say is, the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago, and the second best time is right now. And I'm going to disagree. I'm going to say right now is a lot easier because we can't travel back through time. Anyway, plant a tree because they are the lungs of the planet, and we need more of them. I don't know what kind you should get for where you live or what side of the building to put it on. I don't know much about trees because I haven't bought any. You just feel something? It felt like I traveled through time. Anyway, plant a tree. Bukachi. And there are many of those. If you want to watch all 50, there are 50 of those. You can find those at robertmac.com. And we're back here in China, as a matter of fact. I don't know if you guys know it, but when it's nighttime here, it's autumn in China. That's how they do it in China. So I'm not a big fan of the Chinese. It has nothing to do with the cooties. It has to do with the whole Chinese New Year scam. I don't know if you guys knew about this. Last year, someone said I should check out the Chinese New Year, which was Year of the Hog or Year of the Pig, depending on if you order off the kids menu. Anyway, I decided to check it out. So I went to San Francisco, California, because they have the largest Chinatown in the world. That's a fact. There are larger ones in China, doi, but over there, they're just called towns. Otherwise, it'd be redundant. Anyway, it was a year of the pig, but I partied like it was dragon. Oh yeah, Mugu Gaipan out the yin yang, all you can eat. And then they clear the plates, and I'm face to face with this government issue Chinese zodiac that says Happy New Year in the middle of February. And to me, that's a red flag. I don't think the first day of the new year should be hiding in the middle of the second month. So I did a little research. Turns out Chinese New Year starts on a different day every year. Maybe it's the middle of February, maybe it's June 52nd, but it always manages to end up on the day of a parade. Yeah, that's another red flag, a big one with yellow stars. If you know what I mean. So I did a little research. I looked up my birthday because I was born in January. That's a fact. It's the best month to have a birthday because you don't have to wait as long. Also, it's the time of year when you get a fresh start. And so January 1st this year, I joined a health club because I decided that this year I really want to lose about $30 a month. Anyway, I was looking at my placemat and it said that I was born in Year of the Monkey. And why would a placemat lie to me? It doesn't make any sense, right? But it turns out the year I was born, Year of the Monkey didn't start till February. I was born in January, which was still goat. So I'm a little upset about that. I don't know if anyone here has ever been demoted to goat before. Remember Pluto used to be a planet and then it got demoted to goat. It's the same thing. I've been living a lie all of these years. I thought it was skillful and flexible and creative. It turns out I'm compassionate and elegant and I like rabbits. Well, I like rabbits and I don't like people telling me to like rabbits. So I said, that's it. Sayonara, China, we're done. So I flew home from San Francisco and I came home and I went to my doctor's office because none of your business. But I was in the doctor's office. I was reading this little pamphlet. It was a tiny pamphlet. It was like a pamphlet. And the pamphlet said that 1 out of every 3 Americans is morbidly obese. So yeah, look where you're sitting. All right, 1 out of 3. If the person sitting on your left and the person sitting on your right is the same person, then you're probably not morbidly obese, but you might want to step out of their feed zone for a minute. It's not that we're getting more obese people, it's just that non-obese people are disappearing in snack-related incidents at an alarming rate. It's a little Chinese bit. Kim, Kim, can you give me a number?
I gave you a light. Yeah, you're at the end.
Okay, I'm at the end. I see a little light at the back of the room, which means that the British are attacking by land. So I will turn this back over. Thank you so much. If you want to check out my show, you can just go to robertmack.com, and it's easy to find there. Thanks for joining tonight, and let's swing it back over to our hostess with the mostest, Jenny. Thanks.
Well done, Robert. I have a similar recipe to share. It's just vodka from a can, so they sell it in cans. I'm glad you guys are all enjoying the show. Don't forget, if you want us to see your beautiful smiling faces, you can turn your cameras on. If you want to be unmuted, give Kim a hand raise so we can hear your lovely laughs. And don't forget, if you have a few dollars to spare and you want to tip your comics, you like what you've seen, you can Venmo Improbable Comedy or pay what you want on the Eventbrite link. But of course, we want your attention and laughter most of all. And you're gonna wanna definitely give those things to your next comic. I want you to make some noise for Violet Gray.
Hello, can everyone hear me? Okay. Thank you so much for paying attention to us. I've been seeing a lot of interesting trends on Facebook. I've been seeing a lot of COVID beards on social media. I myself am growing a COVID beard on my legs. From the waist up in all these comedy shows, I've been trying my best to look like a pixie, but from the waist down, I'm a satyr. Unlike every other comic on this show, I am an oldest child, so if that plays out, I'll probably get in trouble for jokes that they get away with. Much like Jenny, I too work in a library. And Jenny, you work in a library in DC, right?
Yep.
I work at a library in Baltimore, and the clientele there, I dare say, is a little bit different. People come into Jenny's library wanting mystery novels. Do you have any Agatha Christie, Murder on the Orient Express, Miss Marple? Someone came into our library wanting photographs of Jesus. Not making that up. That is a real thing that someone said. Robert was talking about the potholes in Maryland, and I really feel like he was, by saying they belong on the Maryland flag, I really feel like he was downplaying how serious they are. Because Maryland potholes, it feels like you're reading Braille with your car. You go riding with a blind person, you're like, what does it say? And they're like, it says you should have voted in the last. That's what it said. Tali was also talking about how people are adjusting to dealing with the COVID crisis, like angry incel school shooters. I imagine that cat callers have also had to adjust. trying to change up their pickup lines a little bit, saying things like, "Damn, girl, you look hot." Probably. I told myself that I would take advantage of this COVID crisis to work on my art and work on my fitness and do all the things that I didn't have time to do. Nope. It's been two things: lime flavored tortilla chips and tiger related deaths. That's been the entirety, just getting fat and watching Tiger King.
Yeah.
It's interesting to see people do social distancing now. My crew, we had the original form of social distancing. We called it Dungeons and Dragons. That was our social distancing. And people were like, well, they kept at least 6 feet away from us at all times because we didn't have a cough, but we had capes. And and they were like, they would stay away from us all the time. And we were like, what are you afraid of contracting? And they were like, virginity. Chronic, long-term virginity. Robert was talking about being year of the goat. In the Chinese New Year, I was actually born in the year of the dragon, which makes sense because I live in a cave and I scare men. So, yeah, I've been seeing a lot of weird things online, like people saying that Karen is a slur toward white women. Have you heard that? Have you heard people saying that Karen is a slur toward white women?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which is why I say Kara and avoid the hard N. So that I'm not being really offensive. I can't wait until this whole thing is over, so that I can do my favorite thing in the year, which is go to the Maryland Renaissance Festival. I'm a huge Maryland Renaissance Festival fan. It's not a setup to a joke or a punchline or anything. If you're ever at the Maryland Renaissance Festival, come say hi to me. Just pull someone over and go, hey, where's the black one? They'll know exactly who you're talking about. I'm also a LARPer. Does anybody here know what LARP is?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. For those of you who don't know, that stands for live action role-play gaming. It's basically Dungeons and Dragons without the overactive sex life. This was very difficult to explain to my mother, who incidentally is also Black. And she was like, you're leaving the house in a cape. Are you on drugs? And I was like, no, we're going out and we're playing like we're fighters and wizards and warriors. And she was like, okay, well, we have family coming over, and if anybody asks why you're dressed like that, could you just tell them you're on drugs? Because that was at least less embarrassing than what I just heard. I told that joke in a comedy club one time, and this drunk white dude came up to me and he was like, you know it wasn't no Black people around that historical time period, right? And I was like, really? The one with dragons and wizards, that historical time period? Yeah. Sorry to ruin the illusion of realistic when you're casting your fireball there. Anyway, we have lots of other funny comics, and I will not take up any more of your time. Thank you so much for listening to me.
That was great, Violet. Okay, good. I'm just making sure I'm unmuted. That was some great librarian solidarity. Thank you. And it's good to have an oldest child on here. Like, we need to have someone who can tell us what to do, right? Excuse me. All right. Are you ready for your last comic tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm excited. I think we're gonna have a good night. I'm not gonna choke on my Diet Coke anymore. And I want you to make some noise for your last comic. It's Maher Matta.
Yeah.
There, yes.
Coming to the stage. How's everyone feeling? Thanks for hanging out, supporting the comics. Are you guys enjoying yourselves? I can see some of you there. Some of you look very confused, like you've seen before. But that's okay, because I haven't either. Don't worry. Well, folks, as you heard your host say, my name is Maher. Which is terribly convenient. The full name is actually Maher Kamal Matta. Isn't that sexy? In Arabic, Maher means skill. In English, Maher means airport security is what it means, okay? Especially my dad. You should see my dad. My dad is very Arab. He's essentially a camel. He is at the airport. My dad is, hi, how are you? Hi. This very big plane, yes? Dad, you can't ask those. Zoom, it's quarantine. We're having a good time. I was a little bit about myself. That's what comics do. We tell you about ourselves. And I'm going to do that cyberly while you're sitting in your bathroom. I was born in Lebanon. Give it up for hummus. Yeah, hummus, who cares? I was raised, however, where all Arabs are raised, the deep south. That was... Listen, folks, my fourth day of high school, this guy comes up to me. He goes, hey, look here, Jose. You need to get your butt back to Mexico where you belong. I said, look, pal, I'm from the Middle East. He goes, what do you mean, like St. Paul, Minneapolis?
Sounds right.
I said, that's the Midwest. He goes, what do you mean? I said, you know, man, Lebanon, Jordan, where they filmed Aladdin. He goes, oh, you're one of them Arabs. Well, look here, Muhammad. You need to get your butt back to Mexico where you belong. A lot of fun. My wife, she's not. Thank you, Jenna. Is that Jenna? Am I reading the name right? By the way, somehow you're muted, and I heard your laugh. Have something wrong with your computer. Let's look into. Because I looked down, now it's unmuted. I don't know. It doesn't matter. As long as you're laughing, that's all I care about. All I want to do is make people laugh in my living room with no pants on. That's what I've done today. My wife, she's not here on the Zoom. She's cooking and cleaning. No, that's terribly Arab. She is in the car. She's in the car because, no, that's terrible. That's racist. My wife, well, my wife is actually Italian American and I am Arab American. We have the hairiest children. We have squirrels, folks, okay? Squirrels. It's funny too, because my son, my oldest son, we actually debated two names for him, Paul and Mustafa Abdurrahman. And we chose...
Mustafa, and it was all Arabic talking.
Uh-oh. Joel, what's going on? Is some confusion there, Joel? Is everything okay, Joel? I want to make sure Joel laughs. I can see half of Joel's face. Joel, are you finding this funny? Or are you like, let's wrap it up? Let's just. Thanks for coming to your house, Joel, and tuning in. These are terrible Zoom jokes, these awful Zoom jokes. Every comedian with the Zoom joke. But anyway, now here's the deal, folks. I'm in quarantine, as you can see. This isn't normally where I do comedy. And I've been here a while, and I have 2 boys. And I will tell you that parenting in quarantine is kind of like being on a flight with kids that never, ever lands. It's just fly. And the captain's like, folks, don't know what to tell you. You know, and your kids are just screaming. It's terrible. It's terrible. The other day, this is what's going on in the Matta household. Well, let me tell you this first, before I tell you that. I started losing my hair very early, like 7 a.m. And when I was a kid, my mom took me to the doctor, and she said, this is what she said. She goes, doctor, fix him. That's what she said. My English was pretty bad. And then, so the doctor gave me Rogaine, right? And I took it home. I was excited. I had it like Charlie in the Chocolate Factory. I take this Rogaine home. I spray it on. Now, folks, I imagine you can see my scalp here. And what happened was, because I can see my own scalp, what happened was I sprayed it on, and it worked miracles on my back and shoulders, because now I'm essentially a thin brown bear is what I am. I'm an out of shape bear, really. And so, you know, I wanted to play high school basketball in my high school. And I went to an all Anglo school, and I was there. And by Anglo, I mean mostly white school. And I wanted to try out for the basketball team. And I showed up to the basketball tryouts. Now, it was important that I make the team because I was the closest they had to black. Now, I get there. And I'm incredibly hairy. I also have I'm losing my hair. The other thing is I was ESL and IBS. 2 terrible acronyms. Peter says here, Teen Wolf, you have a great shaped head. The bald head look works for you. This is very interesting. Thank you, Peter. I've never had that type of, it's not heckling, it's actually encouraging. I like it. I might continue to read this. Someone else said, best hummus and figs in the world. Once again, Peter, a big Lebanese fan, perhaps. Thank you, Peter. So I'm not the tryouts, right? I'm as hairy as a gorilla. I'm ESL, I'm IBS, all these terrible things. And the coach goes, okay, boys, here's what we're going to do. Shirts against skins. And I was like, oh. I peed because of the IBS. I was so nervous. So the coach goes, okay, boys, shirts against skins. I was like, oh, man. So he's going down the gymnasium he's just randomly picking shirt, skin, shirt. It's terrible, right? He gets to me and he goes, scoot, like slow motion. He goes, scoot, and lands right on me. So I was like, you know what? Who cares? This is just dudes practicing, trying out basketball. No big deal. I reached down. I dramatically took off my shirt. I went, immediately, the theme song to Lion King came on. It was just, Chibaya. A rhino ran across the room. And then the coach, without missing a beat, the coach goes, okay, boys, here's what I want. Billy, you go over there. Thomas, you go over there. And Maher, let me get you, oh, damn. Is he the mascot or what's going on here? I don't know. He's really hairy. So now I told you that story to tell you this story. My kids are here. They're driving me crazy. And I was getting out of the shower the other day because I'm showering once a week now. I don't know about you, but I was getting out of the shower and my son looks at me. My oldest son looks at me and he goes, this is what he said. He's 5 years old. He goes, Daddy, you really need to wax your back again. I was like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, why would you say it to your father? So I wanted to discipline him. So I hit him hard. Now, I think here's the thing. Having kids is just pure joy. Look at my face, folks. Just pure joy. Just so much joy. My son, Paul, came up to me the other day And by the other day, I mean, a couple of days ago, he comes up and he goes, Daddy, this is what he said. He goes, Daddy, I put a stick in the toilet. And I go, you put a stick in the toilet? He said, yeah, I put a stick in the toilet. And I was like, well, the only people who can say I put a stick in the toilet and you'd be like, all right, let's go deal with this is a child and someone on PCP. You know, I mean, there's the only, so he says, I put a stick in the toilet. So we walked to the bathroom. And I said, Paul, what do you mean? There's a stick in there? And he said, yeah, so I'm not a handy person, right? I'm not a handy man per se. Joan, you're laughing still. I'm glad to see that. Your husband he's a very handsome man. I like the big mustache. Mr. King, is that your name, sir? I can't hear you, doesn't matter. So the Kings, I have a good friend by the last name of King. Kings, are you at the beach or is that a very, very nice background? I can't really tell. But
Nice background.
is that what it is? Okay. I didn't think you're at the beach, but given that it's COVID Kings, Corona Kings. So anyway, what the hell was I saying about that? I totally lost track of thought. Someone remind me. Oh yeah, the stick in the toilet. So I get a coat hanger. Right? And I untangle the coat hanger. Are you listening, Joan?
I am.
I take this, where's Peter, by the way? He's somewhere on page 6, it doesn't matter. I took this coat hanger and I'm pushing it inside the toilet, trying to figure out why there's a stick in there. And sure enough, emerges from the pipes is a chopstick. Now, Paul had flushed a chopstick down the toilet. Now, this was a parenting moment. I had to figure out, okay, how can I overcome this? So what I did, the way I handled it was I made Paul use the chopstick. You see, that way, the thing is you need two chopsticks to eat Chinese food. You had to flush another one first, retrieve it out, and then make him. Kim, I've got a stopwatch here. I think I'm at 11 minutes. I'll keep going.
You're good. Yeah.
Okay. That's all I had. So goodbye.
He's talking to Kim, so Kim is hearing this.
Yeah. Mr. Curran, is that how you say your last name? Sorry, Joel. Joel, I was just talking to Kim. There's so many generations in here, and it's very confusing. That's okay. I like to hear people. I like to hear people's confusion and everything. So now listen here, folks. I do speak Arabic, which is a very sexy language. I do speak Arabic, and people ask me all the time, because see, I work for the federal government. That's all I can tell you. Now, I do speak Arabic, and people all the time like, hey, Maher, how do you say my name in Arabic? They all want to say, because here's the thing. Me personally, I have just a slightly weird name. It's not terribly weird, but just slightly weird. Like the other day, I ordered Uber Eats, like every other day. And the Uber driver pulls up and he goes, hey, my rear? I was like, yeah, that's fine. That'll do. So anyway, I have a slightly weird name. And at work, this guy for 6 weeks, you like that one, Jenna? Jenna, just Venmo me $300 if you like. No, I'm kidding, 500. So man, I'm losing track bad. This is very difficult on Zoom. What was I saying?
Uber Eats.
Yeah, okay, my name. Yeah, this guy at work for 6 weeks. No, I'm sorry, it's more like 12 weeks. This guy at work was calling me Samir. And it was one of those things where I just had enough, So I walk up to him and I said, this is what I did. I tried to be all dramatic. I was like, look, Jeff, we got to talk. And he goes, sure, but my name is John. So I just let it go, needless to say. All right, so I work for the federal government. I do speak Arabic, and people, they always want to know, hey, how do you say my name in Arabic? That's the big question. Everybody wants to know how to say my name in Arabic, right? A couple of comedy shows ago, when we were before quarantine, after the show, this guy comes up and goes, hey man, how do you say my name in Arabic? And I said, what's your name? And he goes, Henry. And I was like, I don't know. We don't have it, Henry. I'm sorry. We don't have it. I'll leave you with a quick couple of stories, and I got to get out of here because we all have to get home. I used to be George liked that one. Thank you, George. I like to follow up with the I used to be a Virginia State Trooper. Now I know we got folks here from Maryland. We got folks from Washington, D.C. We have folks from, I think I saw Vermont earlier and a couple of other places. Now I used to be a Virginia State Trooper, and I will tell you right now that I was the worst. Are you ready? The worst state trooper the Commonwealth had ever seen. I was terrible. I was behind this man one time, and the speed limit was 65. I'm in a marked police car. I'm behind this man, and speed limit 65. He's doing 75. And I'm behind him. I was like, any minute now, he'll see me. He'll politely move over, and that'll be the end of it. Well, then he hits 80, 85. And I'm like, okay, this is getting bad, you know? So then he hits 88. And I was like, all right, he's going back to the future. So I ended up pulling him over. And it turns out he's a very old man, very confused old man. And I said, sir, I need to see your driver's license. And the poor thing, he hands me his hand is shaking. He hands me a credit card. And I said, sir, cash only. And then I said, sir, I need to see your driver's license once again, only now I raised my voice. And he handed me one of those food club cards, like a VIP, you know, those little things you get a discount with. Now, at that point, I had to just get out of there. So what I did was I pepper sprayed him, and I just left because I don't have time to sit there on the side of the road, blah, blah, blah. So now, I'll tell you this other state trooper story. I was the worst state trooper the Commonwealth had ever seen. You know why? Because I would pull a car over, and then I would forget why I stopped them. It was terrible. It was so embarrassing, awful. I would pull up a car and just kind of come up to it all authoritative, you know, but I would forget why I stopped. I'd walk up and go, hey, how's it going? How are you? Look, do you know why I stopped you? No clue? All right, well, do you want to take a stab at it or anything, or a guess? Kim, how am I doing? Am I?
Yeah, you're out. You're good.
Oh, dang. Okay. That was a lot of fun. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your support. That was a lot of fun.
One more time for Maher and all the comics you've seen tonight. So much fun. Don't forget to tip your comics at Improbable Comedy on Venmo if you can. If not, we're just so glad you could be with us tonight. I'm going to pass this back to the woman who is responsible for bringing us all together tonight. Kim, let's give her a round of applause.
Woo! What an awesome show. Did everybody have a good time? We enjoyed?
Yes, it was very good.
Yes,
that was a
thank you.
rocking show. Sorry about the little bit of echo there. We're still, I guess that's the first time we've had that, but I'm glad we worked it out. And sorry we had to mute some of you in order to do that. Okay, so yeah, so what a great show. I just want to thank, first I want to thank the comics, Maher Matta and Violet Gray and Robert Mack, who is flying through the universe, and Tali Fastow and Jenny Cavallero, our MC. Woo-hoo! Give a shout out to Rich Mazel. Sorry, I don't know if you're muted or unmuted. I'll unmute you. Who partnered with us. He runs Try It Out Comedy up in Columbia, Maryland, and he brought a lot of his audience and just has been great support for live comedy, and really happy to be able to do this show on Zoom with some of the comics that he also loves and also the audience that he loves. Okay, and right, so you all know how to support the show. We certainly love that. We were very happy to have you here. And I'll just tell you, we have some people from very far away. I don't know if you look through the chat. We got Hawaii. Someone said they're from Alaska. If you're really from Alaska, like, that's amazing. So don't tell us you're not. Let's just go with that. And yeah, so that was very exciting. We have our next show on Thursday, the 28th from now. And I am not going to announce who our headliner is, but it is
Barbara's saying we really are from Alaska.
What'd you say? What'd you say, Rich?
Hey, Kim, they really are from Alaska. Ron's been up in Fairbanks since 1966.
Super good. Yeah, so we have another great show coming up on May 28th. Super fun headliner. I can't quite announce it yet, but it'll come out soon. So anyway, thanks very much for coming to the show, everybody. Get home safely. Have a great night, and really thanks very much for coming.
Okay, Joyce said they